All right, well, welcome everybody to today's client support webinar. My name is Ben McDowell with traderscoach.com. Great to have you here. And today is May 29th, 2024. All right, a few administrational items, and then we're going to get going. I've got a lot of emails asking me about the Apex prop funding. So I've got some information to share with you on that as well today. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm doing on that. So I've got, what do I got? About 7 Apex accounts now, and I'll probably get a few more. We got a special offer. I'm going to give you a link with a coupon code so you can get the special deal they have. I mean, it is so inexpensive, and they give you free data, intraday data for the futures. It's for futures only, but it's a great deal. And they do have, you know, the requirements you have to learn in order to get funded. But if you have a edge in the markets and you're, you know, use your discipline, you can do that. All right. Just don't go for broke and try to, you know, just bet the farm. Instead, use your approach and knock out the winners like you normally do, and you'll be funded in no time at all. So it's kind of cool. All right. So let me go through these administrational items here. And the first thing, of course, is to talk about the risk. You know, risk control in the markets is everything. Whether you're prop trading or trading with your own money, you have to have good risk control. If you don't have it, it's just a matter of time before you're going to get wiped out. And one of the things about the prop trading is that some of their requirements are even more strict than what you might normally use for your own money. But the thing is that actually once you learn what the boundaries are in something like that, then, you know, if you have good risk control, it's very easy to adjust it. So, you know, I'll go over that a little bit, but for example, you know, for me, I don't scalp the market in terms of like go, you know, one price bar and I take my profits. I don't do that. What I do is I rely on the ART system and I use my target zones and everything like that, just like I would normally do in our day trading room. The only difference is because the drawdown situation is there for the prop accounts, you have to lower the percent risk so you maintain yourself within that drawdown period and then scale out a little more often when you have profits so you don't give back the profits that decrease your drawdown target. So it's a little bit more involved, but it's once you learn it, it's pretty easy to navigate it. So I'm having no trouble with that once I, you know, drop those levels down. So this falls all under risk control, and you have to kind of, you know, adapt to whatever environment you're in. But if you don't have good risk control, no matter how you're trading, you're going to be knocked out of the market. So always trade with risk capital. And if you don't have any, then go get one at the Apex or one of the prop accounts, right? And then qualify and you'll be good to go. The other thing too is I don't know your personal situation. And of course, your financial advisor or whoever manages your money certainly should. So before you act on maybe some markets we take a look at or some analysis that I do, just make sure you run it by your financial advisor to be sure it's suitable for you. Okay, I don't know your personal situation, forget that. All right, and then finally, nothing's guaranteed in the markets, okay? No matter how good you are, you're gonna lose sometimes, all right? If you're really patient and you've got your system up to where you're 70% to 75% accurate, which is phenomenal, probably you're more strict than somebody that's at 60%, okay? So, you know, also too, if you're scalping the market, you need to be at a higher win percentage. So you got to work on that based on your style of trading and make sure you fall within those lines that you have an edge, right? So that's really important. And, you know, if you need help in any of this, of course, I've got many books on risk control. Update on my second edition, The Art of Trading, finishing it this Friday. So by Friday, it is done to the, totally done. It's going to be almost 500 pages. All right. So I've added a lot of new material there. So kind of a lot of good info in there. So that's done, and then we can move on from there. Of course, Elliott Wave Technique Simplified is available too, and I'll put some links up in the recording, or you can just go to our website. Of course, that's what most people do. All right, ultimate trading system, of course, that's my trading system, right? I mean, come on. All right, and of course, that's the ART, the OWL, PTF, TLM, and ERI, scanners, and risk control. The reason why I boldly call it the ultimate trading system is that a lot of times, a lot of trading systems will focus just on entries and exits, and they really don't talk about risk control. And to me, that's leaving a big chunk of the trading pie unanswered. If you don't have good risk control, I don't care what system you're using, you're done, okay? You're not gonna be successful. Same thing is, if you're going to go into the stock market where there's over like 10,000 stocks, I mean, how do you find them? Well, you have to have scanners, right? So all this comes into play when we're talking about, finding stocks and then managing, doing the entries and exits, and then managing the trade. So keep that in mind. All right, so let me start off by answering a few quick questions on, oh, I know what I want to do first, because I get asked for this a lot too. So Gene, want to make sure I do this. Okay, I'm going to put in the chat area a link to the Apex prop funding. So do that, and if you use our code, you'll get the discount. All right, and this discount, I think it's good now until what, June 15th. So you definitely, if you're interested in it, it's dirt cheap, and they give you own data. So I'll let you go to the website and look at it yourself, but it's a good deal. As I said, I've got 7 accounts with them already, and I'll probably add a bunch more before the end of the sale. Which is, people ask me, well, why do I do that? All right, so let me just talk a little bit about that. All right, so I'm going to bring up the whiteboard for a minute. And when we talk about this, this is, basically with prop accounts. Now, not all prop accounts allow this, but the Apex one does. So that's one of the reasons why I like the Apex. Now, there's pros and cons to every prop firm, okay? The cons, of course, are the stricter rules than you may be used to, trailing drawdowns and things like that. However, I got to be honest with you, you can adapt to it, even using our risk control, and you adapt to it by lowering your percent risk. You may initiate scale outs more often using the PTF and things like that. So you can adapt to any prop trading's rules once you understand them. So it's important first to understand it. Now, the Apex thing is, they allow you to withdraw money once you're funded twice a month. And some people think, oh, that's not enough. I can't believe that's not enough, okay? If you're successful, drawing money out twice a month is fine, okay? I know people, I have one client that's taking out, I think he's about $20,000 to $30,000 every month from his prop accounts. So, it's kind of an interesting thing. So let me, if you don't know about prop accounts, let me know in the questions window, or if you have any specifics on that. But think of prop accounts almost like a simulated account while you're going through the evaluation. You're not losing any money, and you're getting data for free because they give you that when you sign up for the prop accounts. And if you go to some prop accounts, you'll see it as super, super expensive. But during these sale areas, it's not expensive at all. It's like $38 a month for a $250,000 prop account. And you can fail as much as you want, and they'll just keep starting the prop account over every 30 days. All right, and they charge you 38 bucks, and that's it until you're funded. So the most you're gonna spend is $38 on the evaluation accounts. And then once you get funded, then you can pay a one-time fee of $300 at Apex, or I think it's $85 a month if you prefer to go that way. But there's no more $37, that's $38, that goes away. And then you're funded, all right? And then as long as you don't get, get defunded by getting, blowing the account or something, then that's your ongoing fee, and you've got the availability of then taking out money from the account if you're successful at it. All right, so it's kind of a neat way to do paper trading or simulated trading with the intensity of getting funded, so you can actually use their money, so to speak, in order to fund your trading. All right. Now, here's what I like about Apex. Okay. The fact that you can get multiple accounts is a big deal, because let's say you have, like, let's just take an example of 10 accounts. Now you can get up to 20, okay? But let's just say you had 10 accounts. Let me just write all this down, okay? All right, so they have something called an Apex copier. And I think they got that for about 150 bucks for a lifetime license, okay? And basically what that does is it copies your trades on all 10 accounts. Now think about this. If you got a $250,000 account and you times that by 10, well, now you're at 2.5 million, all right? So if you use proper risk control and you apply the same trade, copy it over to all the different accounts, all right, it's like having a $2.5 million account, okay? Kind of cool. And there's two ways you could go about this. Now, it's a $250,000 account. I think they let you take out $3,000 every 2 weeks, unless you have a track record of something like, I don't know, I'd have to look it up exactly, but you'd have to have you'd have to make the account. If you start at 250, you'd have to be, I think, above 265 or something like that for a few months, and then you can take out whatever you want, okay? But in the beginning, they can do it. Oh, you're not seeing a screen share? Oh, okay, let me just check and see what's going on with that. Thank you for letting me know. Maybe we don't have one yet. Okay, how's that, better? All right, so thanks, Jim. I would have gone on the whole half an hour without showing the screen. All right, so in any case, so you could take out, I think, 3,000 bucks on a 250K prop account every 2 weeks roughly. And then the idea is that's per account, but if you have 10, then you can take out 10 times the 3,000, provided you're profitable. So this is the way people make a lot of money, but also start out by copying their trades to the different accounts. And once you have an edge and you understand all the risk control parameters, you're not going to win every trade, but overall, you can see where the profits can add up. So if you make, you know, 3,000 a month on this account, all right, and you make 3,000 a month on this account, you can start to see where you could get some serious money out of these prop accounts. So when you hear people making $20,000 and $30,000 a month, it's not on just one prop account. It's pretty tough to do that because of the limits. Now, there's some people I've seen pull out 1.2 million in a 30-day cycle, and they have been doing it a long time. So they built their accounts up and left the money in the accounts, and therefore they reach the unlimited amount that they can pull out, and so they do it that way, okay? So the idea here is, you know, don't go for broke, and don't try to get funded in a day or a week, even though people talk about that. Don't do that, all right? That's not the way to do it. Do it in small, and I've tested it, and it's not the way to do it. Do it in small tidbits. Trade your system. If it takes you 45 days to reach the objectives they want you to reach, so be it. And then everything after that, once you get funded, then if you keep trading your system, you should be able to pull out some serious money. And again, it all depends if you have an edge in the markets. So there is a lot of benefit to a prop account. And also too, you're not, you know, having, you know, you have to have a lot of money in order to pull out this kind of money. So if you have, you know, $3 million that you can, you know, or $1 million that you can put into a day trading account and call it risk capital, you might, you know, you could probably pull out similar type of money. But here, you don't have to risk any of your own money at all. So you just have to stay within the risk control parameters set by the prop account. So I would check it out strongly. I think you're going to kind of like it. I put the link up there for us and a coupon so you can get the discounted price. And you can try it for a month and cancel it if you want, and it's not going to cost you much money at all. All right, so check it out. But this is how they're doing it in terms of making big money on these prop accounts. It's by copying the trades to multiple accounts. And most people have multiple accounts. Now, that's one way of doing it. Now, the other way of doing it, if you want to be super conservative, okay, is let's say on one account, let's say on one account, your risk or your trade size is a certain amount. And let's just say you do the risk calculator, and it shows you on just one account, let's say you can go, 30 E-mini contracts, okay? All right, so if you got 10 accounts, you could do 30 on each account, all right? That's what you do when you know you have an edge. But if you're not sure about your edge and you're testing things out, just do 3 contracts on each one, all right? It's pretty hard to go bust by doing it this way because it's spreading your risk out to all 10 accounts. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to take you a lot longer to qualify if you continue doing it that way, obviously. And you're not going to be able to take out kind of money that you could take out if you did 30 contracts on each account. But while you're experimenting and practicing, this is not a bad way to do it because it spreads your risk out sequentially. So some people do it that way. So does this answer the questions on multiple accounts? Because I got quite a few emails on that, especially since we have this, they have that special going on. But like Alexander, for you, I think you should consider this. All right, because I think I'm not sure, but I think you day trade, right? Now, this is for futures only, so it's not stocks. It's just for futures, and it's just for day traders. You have to be out of the market, okay, by the end of the trading day. And I think what they do is you have to get out by 2 o'clock my time. So what is that? 5 o'clock Eastern time. So you got to be out of the markets, I think, by 5 o'clock Eastern time. And then at 6 o'clock Eastern time, that's PM, 6 p.m., the market starts over again. So you could actually trade in the evening too, if you wanted to, on certain markets. You just got to be careful because there's not going to be that much activity, okay? That type of thing, okay? So, there are a bunch of rules, but you guys are smart. You can figure those out. And lots of videos out there on the Apex prop accounts out there. But again, my feeling is if you're going to make some serious money on this, you have to have multiple accounts. And I think initially they charge, I'm not sure, like 19 bucks for the first month. And then after that, it's $38. And the way you want to do it, they have this special with our coupon code going on until the 15th of June. And what that allows you to do is if you blow out an account, my recommendation is to cancel that account that got blown out and buy a brand new one because of the special, and the first month is so much cheaper than having to wait 30 days until it gets reset. You're going to be paying the higher price. Does that make sense? So, if you're paying, let's say, 19 bucks a month initially for the first month, and then $38 every month thereafter on this special offer, and that's locked in. If you blow out an account before the special offer is over, just cancel the account and buy a new account for 18 bucks, okay? Do it that way, okay? Yeah, it is tough, Alexander. They're all tough. but it will actually teach you to be a better trader too. And you have to understand, all right, what they're really doing, because when you have the way in which we trade is we enter a trade, right? It can go up and come down, and we stay in that trade as long as we're not stopped out, right? All right, so what you need to do right away is lower the risk, okay? If you have X amount of accounts, it depends on how many accounts you have, but generally speaking, for a $250,000 account to trade our system, you have to have about a 0.5% risk. Don't go 2%, go about half, or 0.4. All right, don't forget to put your commissions in there too, into the trade size calculator for that. And then the thing is also too, I would be more aggressive. I'm being more aggressive trading my prop accounts from a scale out standpoint than I would be if I was probably trading my own money. And the reason for that is because intraday, if the market goes up and you don't get out and then it comes down, the trailing stop kicks in on the higher price. So if, let's say you have a brand new $250,000 account and you put the trade on, right? The market, it goes up to 251,000, let's say, all right? But you don't get out because that's not your target. Let's say your target is to get out at $3,000 profit. So you keep the trade on. Well, if it comes right back down to your starting price, instead of having a trailing stop at 6,500, you're going to be roughly at 5,500 because it takes it from the top of the intraday amount. Once you understand that, then you have to create a rule in order for you to take advantage of that instead of looking at that as a negative, okay? So you need to scale out more often in a prop account. And to do this, I use the PTF, okay? That's what I would do to use that. So I use my targets set just like I normally do, entries, pyramids, targets on fibs, Elliott wave, and PTFs when they turn, let's say, from a green to a yellow on a long trade, I would scale out, all right? And then stay in for the target with the rest of the position. That way I'm taking advantage of that higher price, so that higher price isn't going to affect me as much as if I didn't scale out. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Try that and see if that doesn't help you. Cut your risk back to 0.5%. And you can still make good money, especially if that 0.5% is spread across all the different accounts. Okay. But I think for somebody new, it's actually going to hammer home the importance of risk control even more, which I like. All right. Now, again, like I said, there's some guys that, during these specials, they'll buy 20 accounts and they'll just go for broke. Well, they can do that, but also too, Apex has got some built-in requirements. You have to trade, in your prop account, I think 7 days or something, for you to get that up, and you can't just cycle through like one trade a day for that. They won't let you do that. So what they want is they want you to be a real trader, consistency, not somebody that just went for broke in order to meet their profit requirements. Okay, so that's one of the things. Now, is it easy? Of course not. Okay, but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But for those of you that have been with me for quite some time, where we hone on risk control and we hone on having an edge, this is very doable. And you're going to, in the beginning, you might have to make a few tweaks as you're learning all the rules and the systems. That's okay. If you blow an account out, don't worry about it. All right, just cancel the account, and as long as the special's on, then you buy another one. And you can have the money, you can have a new evaluation account right away. You don't have to wait 30 days, and you wait 30 days, then you also are going to get hit with the higher fee the next month. So cancel the account, get the new account, and go at it again. But I strongly recommend doing it the right way. Don't go for broke, okay? It's not the right way to do it. In my opinion. All right, well, hopefully that covers that, because I did kind of get inundated with that, with how to make this work. Alexander, any other questions on it? Do you have a prop account now, or did you cancel out? Oh, good. All right, so try those parameters. How many accounts do you have? One? How many subscription accounts? That's 250K? Two. Okay, good. So try that, but knock the risk down to 0.5% or even 0.4. Okay, right around that range there. So 0.4 on the calculator or 0.5. And then put the dollar amount roughly of your commissions. I usually like put $50 or something in there. Now, there's also some speculation out there about what's better to do. Should you do the regular E-minis or the micros? And you're gonna pay a little more commission, I think, on the micros. But for me, I like the micros better because at 0.5% risk, I'm cutting down the number of contracts I can do in the regular E-mini. And what I like to do is have enough contracts so I can scale out. And so the micros are better for me for that. So I prefer doing the micros for that reason. Now there's some people that, yeah, ask away about the art software. There's some people that scalp, and if you really want to scalp, you can go down to like the 15-second time frame and scalp just as good as any other bar scalper. So that's a possibility too. Your stops will be tight, just like on a scalper, but that's a possibility. I like the 1 minute time frame my best, but that's me, okay? All right, so let's see. Is that something new, Alexander? Really? Reboot your computer. That's what I would do. I would shut it down and reboot it and see if that makes a difference. Also make sure you have all your Windows updates installed and you're running the latest TradeStation. You can try that. Let us know, okay? I wasn't using TradeStation this morning. I see you're saying I noticed that this morning I was using Ninja. Also, too, make sure sometimes the just takes a little longer to load, but reboot and see if that makes a difference. I was just on TradeStation yesterday, it was fine. If anybody else is using TradeStation and having a problem, let me know. I find a reboot solves a lot of problems, okay? Not only, don't just reboot TradeStation, reboot your entire computer. So after TradeStation reboots, then reboot your entire, and if it's still not fixed, then reboot your entire computer. Check also to see if you have any Windows updates, okay? Okay, see how that works out for you. All right, and if it still persists and you can't figure it out, send a ticket, but from my knowledge, I'm not having that problem, and I don't think I've gotten any feedback from anybody else having that problem. And with TradeStation, we have a lot of users using TradeStation. We hear about that pretty quick. All right, anybody else? Any other questions? All right, so next week, I think what I'm going to do next week, if you want me to, I mean, it's up to you guys. I can actually show you things like the Apex copier, how to use that, how I have my platform actually set up for Apex and things like that, if you're interested. Okay, what I would do then, Alexander, is delete the chart that you are having trouble with and recreate a new one. You might have a corrupted chart. Sometimes that does happen. Okay. Yeah, so I'll do the okay, good. So everybody's saying, yeah, do the copier next week. Okay, I'll do the Apex copier next week. Now, just so you know, if you're going to do the Apex thing, I think you have to either use, I use Tradebyte, okay, or Tradebyte or whatever the hell it's called. They have Rhythmic too, but I use the Tradebyte, and I use it right in my Ninja Trader. Okay, so that's how I do it. And the Apex copier, I believe, is for Ninja Trader as well. If you're using another platform you don't want to use, and they give you a free Ninja Trader, by the way. That's the other neat thing. When you log in to, if you take a subscription with the Apex Prop account, they give you a Ninja Trader license. So even if you're using TradeStation, you can download Ninja, use it, and then they give you the data anyway. So you're good to go. So you can use the Ninja Trader platform. Alexander, is that what you use, Ninja Trader, with that? Yeah, okay. Now, if you already have a Ninja Trader license, I don't think you have to use theirs, but if you're brand new using another platform, they give you that, and it works good. So next week, I'll show you how it works on Ninja. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. All right, thank you. Keep emailing me questions during the week. I appreciate that because it gives me something to talk about when we get together. All right, so Alexander, let us know how you make out with your TradeStation, but I think you're gonna find if you do a reboot, you should be A-okay. All right, also make sure you're getting good internet on there, okay? You know, I'm not a believer in wireless internet when day trading. So make sure you're hardwired in for that. So the wireless is a lot better today than it was 5 years ago, that's for sure. All right, good to see everybody. Okay, you're hardwired, good. All right, good to see everybody this week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for coming. And remember, if you have a question, write it down, bring it here. I don't care what kind of question it is, as long as it's to do with trading. All right, we will definitely appreciate any of your trading questions, because that's why we're here. All right, whether it's courses, software. Alexander, I'm glad you mentioned your software question, because that's exactly what this place is all about, for questions just like that. Okay, so, and again, keep us updated. Why don't you send us a ticket just to let us know you're okay, all right? Because if you're not, then we'll try to help you troubleshoot that, okay? All right, guys, see you next week. Now I got to go back to trading my Apex account. All right, Alexander, on the website, if you go to the website, I think if you go under support, you could submit it, but I think on the lower right-hand side, there should be a little chat area where you can also submit a ticket, okay? Now, did you reboot your computer and it's not working? Try that first before submitting the ticket, okay? Okay, good. All right, everybody. See you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.